Coming to you from DigiFox Labs. Today we're going to be talking about 3 projects, 3 coins that you can invest in right now to make some serious gains. Now, none of this is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Everything said here is 100% our opinion, as well as serving as a diary for us navigating this blockchain space, stock market space, NFT space, anything that you invest in spaces. So let's get right into it. The first project we're going to go on, number 1, is sharing. Now, some of you may have not heard of sharing, some of you may have, but what is it exactly? Well, it's opened the world with sharing ID. That's right, identification. It has pioneered the world's first user-focused ecosystem for the issuance, storage, verification, and sharing of personal information and key documents. Now, does that not sound scary? Does that not sound exactly what has been punted by governments for the past 2 years, especially with the we'll just call it the yeah, that thing that happened back in 2020, yeah, maybe even 2019, based off of the numbers and where you are in this beautiful world. Now, going back to the article, or rather the project, your sharing ID stored in your exceptionally secure and encrypted sharing vault allows you to hold documents such as passports, national ID, driver's license, health information, memberships, and certificates, safe in the knowledge that only you decide how and when they are accessed or used. The app connects your sharing ID to any number of services from travel, insurance, healthcare, logistics, education, cryptocurrencies, charity, and more. So this is something definitely that governments can use. Now, some of you are probably anti-government and 100% on the decentralization of everything, right? But the fact of the matter is that do you really think governments are going to take this down like, like without giving a fight? No, they want control. So with that said, sharing is a protocol that is probably going to glorify whatever country you're listening from. They're going to glorify the whole centralization and keeping track of everything. Now, it does seem very much convenient, right? You have your national ID, your passport, your membership certificates, educational diplomas, educational certificates, all that stuff, all in one location. Rather than having like folders and binders of everything that you've done for your past, 30, 40, 20 years, right? And you're wondering like, oh, where's this at? Oh, where's a certificate of birth? Where's my hospital bills? Where's this, right? It's keeping everything stored on a blockchain. So that does have some use case, definitely, absolutely, and makes things a little bit easier. But you are sacrificing a little bit of your personal life, right? Because you're giving everything up, and more than likely, it's going to go to the government, right? So, sharing app, how can you invest in it? So we all know what this is, right? What news articles are out there for sharing and making it so bullish here at DigiFox Labs? Well, first off, scrolling further down on their app, you can see here that they access solution, financial services, travel and commute, education, employment, other daily errands, rentals, so everything that pertains to you having a life. And then you have Q&As here. What is sharing ID and why do I need it? They've essentially told you everything, and look right here. That is quite the narrative. Look right here. I'm not going to say it because it's YouTube, right? Look at that. Look at that. That right there. That makes it bullish. If you are potentially wanting access to something along the lines of that, so let's say you missed the stock market run of like Johnson & Johnson and Moderna and Novavax and all that, right? Here's your chance right here. There's proof right here. So, what is the skinny on the Q&A? Well, it's the quickest way to create a sharing account, requiring only your email address and full name, potentially other stuff down the road, or maybe even more. Well, actually, it is going to be more because, look, you're giving your email address and your full name, and then you load up your documentation, your verification, such as passports, right? So they're going to know exactly who you are. What type of ID types and documents can you post up? Everything here. Everything right there. Drivers, everything we just stated. Everything that pertains to you on this beautiful world. What can I do through the sharing app? Well, seamlessly access the sharing ecosystem via our all-in-one app. And that is key. The all-in-one app. The only thing you need for holding all your important documentation. Can you reset your PIN? Yes, absolutely. You can verify yourself by literally loading up exactly what you loaded up to begin with. Is it secured and protected? Your data is only ever stored in encrypted format within your sharing personal information vault, your PIV, held solely on your personal device. No one can access your information without your permission, and we never hold a copy of your data on any central database. That is quite interesting, is it not? You know, holds a copy. I mean, let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. Like, come on now. Where is my personal information stored? It is encrypted and stored on your phone in your PIV. Data can only be sent to third parties with your confirmed permission. Right. We never store any personal information on a central database. The only thing kept on the share ledger blockchain is a digital fingerprint or hash. And now all of this is going to be kind of convoluted and a little bit confusing because we're going to show you some articles that are quite interesting. And you'll be interested in this protocol, and you will also be very bullish. You absolutely will. But you're going to have this thing called ethics, and if you want to actually partake in it. Now, let's get right into the articles. Sharing. Inside China's effort to create a blockchain it can control. China's blockchain service network can support dApps built on 15 different networks, but provides the government direct control over all of them. China, government, direct control over all of them. This was released on March 16, 2021, almost the better part of a year ago. Coming up on it anyway. Coming to you from coindesk.com. Okay. Scrolling down, you can see that this is how Weifan He, the CEO of Red Date, the company behind China's blockchain-based service network, BSN, is what they're going to be calling it, an abbreviation to make it easier, describes the level of government control in the system. BSN is the government-blessed framework being developed in China for blockchain developers. Okay, so it goes on to say what BSN does, what they're looking at, China and the control of blockchains and permission and permissionless and blah blah blah, but I'll let you read the article yourself. But these are the ones that they're going to be offering services on. The global service now includes, and the global service meaning BSN, right? BSN. The global services now include 15 blockchains with a plan to add 30 more later this year. So the 15 that are piloted in the BSN are as follows: Ethereum, EOS, Tezos, Neo, Solana, Polkadot, Casper, we've talked about Casper, Nervous, IrisNet, which is a fork of Cosmos, Algorand, we've talked about Algorand, highly bullish, Sharing, Oasis, we've talked about Oasis as well, and they are actually going to be the next coin we talk about, BitYuan, Near Protocol, and Findora. So, as you can see here, Sharing, based off of what we just said and what they do, they're going to be definitely a place for 1 billion people on this planet, which they are located in China. So you can honestly see that the market cap of Sharing is going to explode, as in order to partake, you need the coins, right? So next article. We'll let it load up. Now, this is coming to you from Dominica News Online. If you don't know what Dominica is, it's a Caribbean island that gives you zero capital gains tax. Citizenship is actually quite easy for you that make massive gains on your cryptocurrencies. So go ahead and look at acquiring citizenship in Dominica. The pilot program, what do I miss here? Nothing really. Okay. Pilot program launched to digitize Know Your Customer process for financial institutions in the Caribbean. Sharing the Caribbean, introducing eKYC. So why is this important? Well, the whole Caribbean, which is essentially a tax haven for most of the global population, right? They are going to offer KYC. Now, why is that? Well, if you think about it, we read this article some time ago, can't find it unfortunately, that a lot of Chinese and Russian wealthy individuals are going to the Caribbean and getting citizenship. Now they are also offering KYC in the near future. It actually already began June 1st, 2021. It is part of Sharing's long-term commitment to the region as they roll out their blockchain-based identity and variable credentials ecosystem across a number of industries, including health, events, financial services, and travel. So You've got China that is 100% bullish on sharing, right? Now, they also have the wealthy that goes to the Caribbean. So you have two sections of the world, both financially backed as well as having access to all sorts of documentation with sharing. So I don't think sharing is going anywhere. In fact, I think it's only going to go up from here, right? So let's look at the price of sharing, shall we? It is currently trading at 1 cent. That is correct, 1 cent. Market cap of 70 million. Trading volume, 1 million. Total supply, 4.3, we'll just call it 4.4 billion. It's an Ethereum token on the Ethereum blockchain. Sharing token ticker is SHR. Scrolling down, these are where it's available on KUCOIN. All these tokens we are talking about in the top 3 are available on KUCOIN. It's also available on Gate.io, Uniswap, Hotbit, Binance Dex, Bittrex, Gate.io. That's global, by the way, on Bittrex, as well as global Gate.io, and Bitmart, which I think has got flagged, actually. Yeah, it did get flagged. Okay, so where can we see sharing token going? Well, let's go ahead and look at this. So this is what we're seeing on the sharing token. We can see here that it's actually hitting a lot of support right here around the 1 cent mark, 1.6 cent mark. And it looked like it has formed a bit of a double bottom. And let's go ahead and show you right here. There's one bottom and there's two bottom on a long, massive scale. Now, there's that thing, right? And you're thinking like, oh, so what? Who gives a damn, right? Well, look right here. It's reversing. Money's coming in. Okay, and then let's do this right here. This is your support right here. Go ahead and draw some support areas right here, more or less. It's right here. Okay, as long as it holds that, and it's not exactly a perfect line, but there you go. It's banging off of this a little bit, right? And we could just go across right here all the way back to February of 2021. So there you go. It's banging off of there, and it hasn't even flipped it into resistance, right? It's staying right there at the 1.5, 1.6 region. So right now, even though it had a little bit of a pump, right? You can see right there where it's got a little bit of some pumpage going on right there. See that right there in this area? You can see where it did get a little bit of a pump, but even still, on the grand scheme of things, it's still really early, is it not? So it is very interesting. So where do we see this going? Well, we can just put out our nice fibs, right? And this is going to be on the larger scale time frame. Okay, where do we see this going? Your safe bet is going to be actually the 14 cent mark. I wouldn't actually take profits at the 14 cent mark, maybe like around the 12 to 13 cent mark, because you will be front run by individuals with what I just told you, right? So that's roughly what, a 10x from now. That's wait, is it? Yeah, that's a 10x. So if it goes to 10 cents, that's a 10x. Now, it's going to be some bumpy roads going on there, right? So if you want some easy peasy lemon squeezy type stuff, right, you're looking at roughly the 5 cent region, right? So that's what is that? That's a 5x. That's a 5x for something that's fundamentally strong and supported by not one, but two regions of the world, two governments, all of which are financially backed, as well as giving travel and vaccines and all that other stuff, right? So we are highly bullish. We haven't taken a position on it yet, but I can promise you DigiFox Labs will be taking a position. Quite a heavy bag of it as well, because it's only 1 cent. So, you know, there was a time when we got on MATIC when it was 1 cent, and now look at it, right? And this is something that it has massive use case, and this is something that you can hold for the years coming forward, right? Definitely don't keep it on exchanges if you're going to be doing that, because with regulations coming, it's going to get slaughtered. It's going to get slaughtered. But definitely just have it off chain, off wallet and stuff like that. So that's token number 1. Token number 2, which we mentioned earlier in the article, Oasis Foundation, or rather the Oasis Network. What is it exactly? It's a privacy-enabled blockchain platform for open finance and a responsible data economy. Right, so let's get a little bit into it and why we're bullish on it. So it's everything that you would expect of a blockchain. It's its own blockchain, okay? It's not an Ethereum token or anything like that. It's private, it's scalable on DeFi, it's tokenized data, it's parallel smart contract layers. Scrolling further down, we can see here what's the highlights. It's scalable, something that Ethereum is yet to really do, like it really wants to until 2.0 comes out. It is reliable and versatile. It separates consensus and execution into 2 layers. The consensus layer layer and the paratime layer for better scalability and increased versatility. Parallel workloads. Separation of consensus and execution allows multiple paratimes to process transaction in parallel, meaning complex workloads processed on one paratime won't slow down faster, simpler transactions. Sounds like an Ethereum problem, does it not? Confidential smart contracts. This is key. This is why one of the things we are bullish. The first network to support confidential smart contracts. The Oasis ETH WASI runtime is an open source example of confidential paratime that uses secure enclaves to keep data private while being processed. It's also efficient design, okay, requiring a smaller replication factor for the same level of security. So you have privacy, confidentiality. That's great in a blockchain, is it not? It's rapidly growing. You have it here in the news, and we'll show you some things that is going on with it. So this is why we're bullish on it. Look, here's the partners, right? We're going to see more on the partners. And this is why we're bullish. BMW, Binance, the Music Fund, Chainlink. There's BMW, there's Binance, there's Chainlink. Let's see, who else do we know here? Oasis Labs, obviously. Safe Rate, Wire, Balancer, BSN. Who else is on it? Insure Network, Wi-Fi, Tidal, Total, Smith and Crown, Baidu, Darwinia, Shift. Now let's look at who's operating the nodes, meaning that they are all making this network essentially what it does, right? Arrington XRP Capital, a VC firm who has massive amounts of liquidity and is 100% bullish on the crypto space, as well as investing in projects that have 100 and even 1000x over and over again, mind you. Anchor. Who else do we know here? Bison Trails. Who else do we know here? Everstake, Hashquark. Who else do we know? Polychain Labs, big massive name there. Second State, Stakefish, one of the biggest. What's it called? I can't think of it right now. Node operators on Ethereum. There you go, miners and stuff. Staking fund, validators online, SSS nodes, Scalar capital, sorry. Universities that are involved. Let's look. Australian National University, University of Edinburgh, Frankfurt, Cambridge, Imperial College, Blockchain Society. Who else we got here? Oxford, University of San Francisco, and I can't see some of these. Oh, Cornell. I mean, we've got so many universities involved with Oasis programs. Who else do we got here? Developer tooling, ecosystem grants. So these are the individuals that gave it grants, and we have Rosetta Stone, Stakefish, Everstake gave them grants, Chainflow, Chorus. Now security, don't really know. Wallets and custodians. So if you've got it and you want to get it off of the exchange, these are the wallets that you could use. Not familiar with any of them except the Ledger. Select backers. So we have Pantera, Polychain, Excel, and A16Z. Not to mention that we have another one here which should be in that list, which is Arrington XRP Capital, as well as who's the other one? There was another one in here. Missed it. But this is Oasis network, Oasis protocol. We are highly bullish on it. It is a long-term hold for us. And let's look at the price right now. 37 cents. Max supply 10 billion. We do see this doing a MATIC of $2, roughly around there at a minimum. Market cap is 1 billion. Fully diluted is actually 3.7 billion. So to match the fully dilution valuation, you're looking at roughly, what is that? 3x from here, right? So which puts it at roughly around a little over $1. And like we said, it's its own blockchain. It's not on Ethereum or anything like that. Let's look at the chart on CoinGecko here, and we can see that it's actually on a pattern, a log pattern going up, and we'll show you that here later on. But one thing that you need to see here is we made a video on Oasis way back on November 25th, 2021, and Oasis Protocol inks partnership with Meta, that's right, Facebook, to facilitate AI computing applications. So that we found this article. If you're interested in it, go ahead and go back to one of our old videos back in November 25th, 2021. Now let's go ahead and do some TA on this. We did some earlier, and we indicated that it was forming a cup and handle, and there was your handle part right here in this area, which we pointed out with the green arrow. And it also had, you could barely see it. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. We also indicated that it was doing a descending wedge, and it broke out from there. And we indicated that you're looking at roughly 98%. Well, we were wrong, because it actually went up probably like 110, 115%, right? But we said we were going to take some off the top when it got to around this area, because we did not want to be front running. That's exactly roughly what happened. But now we are currently forming another pattern, and this is what we're forming right now. And it seems like it's not going anywhere down anywhere soon. Granted, I definitely could be wrong. But let's look at this right here. This is what we're looking at right here. Okay, there's one. And then here's the other one, trend line. We got something like this coming on like this. Right, so this is what we got going on right here, more or less. Right, so it's something similar to this, right? So this is what we're looking at. We're looking at the next point being around 50 cents, right? Now, pulling out our fibs. Let's go ahead and pull out our fibs for the next price point, right? And we are looking roughly around, potentially, you may have a wick going up to the 57, 55, but I would stay within the channel. It is getting a little bit overheated. It seems to be rolling over a little bit, maybe. We'll have to wait as time goes on. But is it safe to take a position right now? If you're looking for something long term, definitely. There's 10 billion tokens. Like I said, we see this going at $2. So just DCA in to match the fully dilution. You're looking at roughly over $1. So anything under $1, you'll be in the profits. The earlier you get in, the cheaper you get in, obviously the better. You know, no, obviously, right? So that's coin number 2. Coin number 3. Cartesi. So why are we bullish on Cartesi? Well, this right here. They have a partnership with Poker, decentralized poker gaming system. And let's see, who else do they have going on? And we really like the charts. That's why we're actually bullish on it, to be honest with you. BitBoy did mention it some time ago, a long time ago. But they do have quite a bit of news. You see here that they are bullish on gambling, specifically Texas Hold'em. I believe that's poker, if I'm not mistaken. And then scrolling further down, they have a partnership with Pay Network, which is a launchpad, which is a very good launchpad, and they vet all their projects. Scrolling further down, let's see here, future smart contract development. So they are still in the infancy. So they don't really have operational smart contracts as of yet per se, but you can see here, and what exactly is it? Well, let's go ahead. Code smart contracts with Linux. So that is why we're bullish on it. Linux is highly used, also with MySQL. So they have infrastructure. They have a language that is highly used by most of the IT world today. And so this is a blockchain that's very much going down the Linux route of just 100% just being user-friendly for other developers. So they're making it really, really easy for the developers to come to their project, to come to their blockchain and actually build on it. And so that is something that we are highly bullish on, and we feel that that is giving it room to grow long term. You know, you devs don't have to learn anything. They just come over here, they know a little bit of Linux, they come over here and they start building stuff, and they create, you know, dApps and all kinds of stuff for it, and that is making it really, really easy. They have 114 million staked. They have ambassadors in 15 regions. They have 20 plus wallets. They support almost all the major chains. You got Loon, Injective, you got Elrond, Binance, MATIC, what's this, IOTX, IOTA, which we talked about, Avalanche, Ethereum, and a couple of others. They have blogs here, and so now we told you that we are bullish on the chart, right? So before we get into that, we can see here that if you want to know what Cartesi is, Investor Place did an article on it as far as what is it, 7 things you need to know about the red hot CTSI crypto. So what are they going on about? Well, it has been around since 2018. The team cemented Cartesi as a layer 2 scaling infrastructure that works with Linux, which again, we indicated was highly, highly beneficial for most developers in the world. As research from Masari, if you don't know who Masari is, you've kind of been living under a rock, but they are highly, highly big in research in the crypto space, and most of the calls, if not all of the calls, have produced quite the sum of gains for individuals that paid for the services. It puts it, this could bring more seasoned developers to the world of blockchain. Seasoned developers. Why? Because of Linux. So they are on the same narrative as we are. Importantly, Cartesi currently offers 3 products that align with its goals. Descartes rollups, and No Ether. Descartes allows developers to complete heavy computations on Linux virtual machine. Also, Descartes rollups feature is meant to be more scalable smart contract solution to Ethereum, so it's more scalable than Ethereum. And there's more to it. We're not really tech savvy on it, but again, they said here, Ben Armstrong, who goes by Bitbo, mentioned it some time ago. This article came out August 9, 2021, so a bit late. Now, what is the current price of Cartesi? Well, we can see here that it is 70 cents with a max supply of 1 billion. Market cap 300 million. Dilution 750 million. It is an Ethereum token as well as a Binance Smart Chain token, Avalanche token, and Polygon token. So I wouldn't recommend getting it on Ethereum. I'll just go ahead and get it on any of these 3 because of gas fees are just ridiculous on Ethereum, are they not? Now, looking right here, it is actually at a discount of negative 56% from its all-time highs. Cut. Galena, stop. Daddy work, be quiet. Right, now going to the charts of Cartesi, which is CTSI. We're looking at the USDT pair on Binance. We can see here that it is very volatile and it usually performs really, really good in a single day, going roughly from, let's say right here, 48 cents all the way up to $1.26 and then crashing back down to 75 cents, losing roughly half of everything it just gained. And it did the same thing here, roughly around, what, about 5 months later, and it did it 5 months prior to that as well. So definitely something you just need to purchase and just wait for your run up, and it usually happens quite fast, really, to be honest with you. So we're looking right here, and it's a bit rolling over right here. Money flow is actually coming out of it and going into other things, and you can see here it's also verified with that with the RSI. Now, where do we see this going? Well, as you can see right here, okay, look at this right here. What do we see? Well, we see something very interesting. We see, let me get this out of the way. Let's get this out of the way. There we go. Oops. All right. So we got that out of the way. So what do we see here? Well, we saw here, took a position right here. Okay. There's your 1 and there's your 2 bottom right there. 1, 2. You can't really see that one, can you? 1 bottom and then there's your other bottom right there. Okay, so you got 1, 2 bottoms, and it went up. Went from 62 cents all the way up to 83 cents, and now it's coming back down. It is going to retest this, okay? So what do we see for this right here? Well, in the medium term, this is what we're looking at right here. And then it's going to smack around this area. Now, 2 things can happen. 2 things can happen. It's going to form a little U, right? It's going to come up and then come down, and maybe bounce right here and then go up, or it may do this, come back down and do something like that, right? Before going off. So where do we see the immediate price going? Well, we see this right here. Okay, let's do this right there. The retracement. So $1.30. Now, it's very key to look at this wick right here. Okay, look at this wick. This wick right here. This wick. Look at that. That went from $1.72 all the way to $1.43. That's just the wick. That's insanity. So I would definitely put in, if you get in right now and just wait, or dollar cost average, because it may very well test the 60-cent mark, take profits around $1.20, maybe even take profits around $1, and then wait for it a little bit, and then take more profits later on. Where do we see this going? Well, look at this. So we see this doing, let's go ahead and get rid of some of these little designs that we decided to do. This is what we see happening. Okay, again, this is not financial advice. We are not professionals in this whatsoever. There's one trend line, and then it's following this one right here pretty well, actually, as well. And so we see something like that, right? We see that. And then this is your level right here, roughly around there. Oops. So we see that as a potential thing. And then we have this right there. So you're looking at roughly this. Okay. So this is your resistance right here. This line right here. And then it's forming like a little bit of a channel. Now, if you're not too with us on that channel, that's fine, but it needs to be said, this is going to be your resistance around the $1 area. So where is that from right now? Well, you're looking at roughly about what, 20-30%. Long term though, definitely it will be breaking all-time highs. When exactly, we don't know, but we're looking roughly around for $1.50, $1.70 Cartesi, which is roughly what, double from where it's at currently. So that's a 100% return on your investment. So those are the three tokens that you can both get on, all three can get on KuCoin. Those are the three tokens we are bullish on. All three we will set a position in. We do have, full disclaimer, a position in Oasis protocol. We have not sold. I think did we take profits? Yeah, we did take some profits on it, but we still hold a decent sized bag. So the other two we have not. Sharing, we are going to put in quite the big entry as we are highly bullish on that. So with that said, happy days, happy trading, and good luck to you all.